Hello, Namaste. My name is Nidhi Nagori and welcome back to my channel. Now, a lot of you keep asking me which certification is better than the other certification. बहुत सारे लोगों को confusion होता है CISA करूँ, CA करूँ, CPA करूँ, CWA करूँ, IFRS की जो diploma है वो करूँ तो करूँ क्या? Because a lot of you have those questions, I found someone who has done all of these certifications that I just spoke about. Yes, and she's also done a bachelor's and a master's. She's currently working in the Silicon Valley and she's here to guide us with her idea, her journey, and her thoughts about which certification should one pursue. If you're interested, please stick around till the end. अगर वीडियो अच्छी लगे तो make sure कि आप subscribe करो, hit the like button down below, let me know in the comments what else would you like to see on my channel. And for better user experience, as always, try and use headphones. Now that all the information is out there, let's go and talk to Anila and understand कि कौन सी certification हमें करनी चाहिए for our career.
So hey guys, today I have Anila with me. Now आप लोग के बहुत सवाल आते हैं कि मैम कौन सा कोर्स करना चाहिए, निधि क्या डिग्री करनी चाहिए, कौन सी सर्टिफिकेशन करनी चाहिए. I know it is tough to say, एक्सप्रेस करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. So I have somebody here with me जिन्होंने बहुत सारे सर्टिफिकेशंस किए हैं अपने इंटरेस्ट्स के लिए, most importantly. And हम अनिला से जानेंगे कि why is it that she chose a certain certification? What is it that she suggests you look into? So first of all, thank you so much, Anila, for taking your time and talking to us today.
Thank you so much, Nidhi, for having me. I really appreciate the way you created that platform and giving everyone experience of knowing what exactly mean by what, and it's getting clarity in their minds, and that's something is really important. And thank you for having me again.
Thank you. So let's start with your introduction first.
So, hi everyone. My name is Anila Yernal. I'm working with EY, that is Ernst & Young, in Silicon Valley, and I'm a CPA by profession. But definitely, as Nidhi said, I did most of the certification, which include CPA, CISA, ACCA diploma in IFRS, then CA, CWA, those kind of things, and then definitely BCom, MCom back in India. So yes, I'm from India, raised and brought up in India, and then I moved for my work to New York in 2014, and then I moved to Bay Area when I got married.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this. Now let's talk degree by degree, just to understand certification by certification. How is it that you went to a certain certification? So you mentioned that you've also done masters.
Yeah.
So you were at bachelor's. Why did you do masters?
So, so this is the thing. It's kind of, you are in that particular age where it's kind of more kind of influence side. So people are doing master. That is something you should have. And so what happened? Let me take a step back. So
Sure.
I did the bachelor's. So my CA, CWA actually journey started when I enrolled like for 11th standard basically. So we started preparation from 11 till BCom. I cleared my CWA before I cleared my BCom, I would say. And then definitely there was 1 year gap I need to take for the master, because at the time there was some kind of regulation, I'm not sure right now, where we cannot take 3 consecutive courses or something like that. And that's why I took a 1 year break, and everybody was doing master, and I feel like, oh, I should do a distant learning master from Pune University. So I enrolled for that and appeared for the exam, and voila, I just got the master degree. It's not like something special training or something classes I've attended. It just study from home and then appear for the exam kind of thing. So it's a distant master degree. So I completed my CWA in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
I completed my CA in 2011, and by 2012 I completed my master as well, I would say. Yeah. So choosing CA and CWA, it's something is not planned. It's kind of like so many people were doing, and I got like into a tuition where everybody was doing CA and CWA together, and that's why I got enrolled. But eventually, when I started studying for those courses, I understand what exactly mean by CA course, what is exactly mean by CWA course, like why those certification has differences. So definitely a CA course where you can learn audit, accounting on a complete financial statement perspective. A CWA course is more towards a cost accounting. Like if you consider a manufacturing company, then you will understand like, okay, the CWA is a much more kind of certification is much more relatable than the CM is what I would say. But if you are into audit kind of platform, then definitely a CA course is preferable.
Okay.
Then moving forward from the CACWA to the IFRS diploma in IFRS from ACCA London. That is also a thing because in 2012 there was a boom of getting the IFRS implementation globally. That something is, I feel like it's a requirement because I was working for a German company. They are also reporting into IFRS as well as US and Indian GAAP. So that's something actually gave me understanding like, hey, this is something a really kind of niche kind of area where everybody wants to go like dive into literally. And that's the reason I felt like maybe diploma in IFRS from ACCA, which is actually very recognizable, is a good thing or a good certification to go for. So that's the one of the thing I actually enrolled for, and I was able to clear it in the first attempt. So yeah, it's there.
Okay. So after your CA, CWA, bachelor's and master's, you did a diploma in IFRS from ACCA.
Yeah.
After that?
So after that, being into working in German companies, they are wanting to expand in US. And being said that, like, definitely we are getting a lot of work related to US GAAP and consolidation level and everything. Like, I was purely in reporting earlier.
Okay.
So that's something like strike me, hey, I don't have that much of knowledge of US GAAP. Definitely there is not that kind of differences, but definitely when you have that kind of certification or in degree, right, then first of all, it's a kind of, you get a thorough knowledge. And the second of all, like, okay, people recognize, okay, you have that kind of certification, you have that kind of knowledge. So when you want to get some kind of responsibility, that something makes sense for them as well. Like, hey, this person knows something, and that's something we should be able to give it to her. And that's the reason I actually enrolled for the CPA. Another part for the enrolling CPA was even traveling. Back that time in 2014, there was no centers in India. The centers were only in Dubai and USA.
Yeah.
So I choose like New York State basically because of the fun factor, like traveling and doing my certification and everything. So actually I came to New York in 2014. I gave 2 papers and I was like, hey, I really want to enjoy this trip. It's something what I did. And I did not appear for 2 of my exams basically. And then in the November in 2014, like I came back to US again to give the exams, but I ended up getting a job. So everything was going well and I cleared my CPA in 2014, and then everything was again going well. I was into a consultancy firm first, like it's a typical CPA firm. And I got married in 2016 when I moved to Silicon Valley. So after moving to Silicon Valley, I stopped working as a consultant. I worked into industry. So very big name companies I work with. Fortunately, I really grateful for having that kind of, opportunities in my life.
Yeah.
And after working for a couple of years in the industry, I was kind of, I have a CPA degree, CPA certification. So I'm understanding like what in accounting perspective, everything is happening. I was able to get into like IPO kind of clients. So it was kind of very good opportunity, I would say. And later couple of years when I took my maternity break, I realized, this financial reporting or accounting kind of job is kind of monotonous, because I was saying Snapchat is going IPO, there is Uber is there, like so many like IT related evolution is happening around me, and I'm like, I felt like I'm left out, like I don't have like any kind of part in those kind of company or understanding those kind of IT related things. So I feel like maybe the good combination will be, if you have accounting background, then you really move into the IT background, then that's something will bring you like fintech process to understand in more elaborate manner. And that's why when I was on a maternity break, I actually completed my CISA exam, like CISA certification. So that's why I got the CPA certification. Eventually, I got CISA certification, and right now I'm working with EY, where opportunities like endless, literally. So I'm working on external audits. I'm working on cybersecurity. There are so many things are happening. Trust me, and it's kind of something I really wanted to do. So even though I'm from accounting, I also work on the IT side, and I get to know those kind of details. That's something is very fascinating. Like I've worked in the autonomous car project, which is Google's Waymo, and that's something like you can understand. Like there is no driver, the car is moving. Like how things work. Like those kind of things were really helpful when I did my CISA certification. So yeah, so those many certifications so far.
So of course you've had this, extremely diverse experience. So looking back, who do you think? Because people are confused. Which certification should I do? What is your advice? How should people choose what certification they should do, or what should they really pursue in life?
So one thing for sure, like whatever the certification I did, there are other ample of still there, like CFA is there, CIA is there. For me, whatever the certification I did, it's not something I planned. So again, like when I step back, I think about CWA, definitely being in the commerce, what kind of certification give me more opportunities in the job market was the main focus I had. And that's why I pursued CA and CWA. Again, when I wanted to go for IFRS, it's something like I was looking for that kind of opportunity. I was looking, the world is changing, and that's why I went for it. Again, for the CPA and CISA. So I always keep in mind, like, why? So right now, what is happening in my job, like whether my job requires those kind of skill set, then I feel like, okay, maybe that could be the thing. Like I should go for that certification, which will give, a more detailed knowledge. And that's why I actually pursued them, and successfully I was able to complete it because I had those kind of interests and those kind of experiences I was getting in day-to-day job. So I would suggest for the people who really want to pursue any kind of certification or enroll any kind of certification, just think about what the interest they have, what kind of interest they have. It's something they are working right now on that particular, like if they have that kind of opportunity exist in that kind of certification, and then go for it. It is not something is some person is doing or there is advertisement and that's the only reason I should go. Like if you want to really do US CPA, definitely make sure you want to work on the US client in the future, or maybe you want to move to US eventually, like those kind of things. It's just because you want to work in India, but you won't get US client, you just have to work. But then there is Australia CPA, there are other kind of CPAs as well. So definitely think before enrolling any kind of certification, for sure.
Okay. And what, especially when it comes to CISA, CPA, you are an anomaly in the sense that I've not come across somebody who has these many certifications, and it seems like you've not stopped. You kept on getting, as you felt like, oh, I need this skill, you went in and got that certification. But a lot of people are, hung up on which certification will give me a good job, which certification will give me good money. Do you think there is any certification like that can really give that guarantee?
I won't say a guarantee. I would say the reason I pursue so many certification because I was really very much interested to get the knowledge. Like I just pursued CISA, just wanted to get into the IT part of it, because staying in Silicon Valley, you cannot completely differentiate yourself from the IT. It's literally like Apple campus is literally walk away from my home. Like you see those kind of big companies that having those kind of events, and like I used to feel like, okay, I should know something related to IT. Definitely I did not think like to do certification to get a job, but just to get understanding of that particular concept, like how the IT works. So that's something I did. So I would suggest people who really want to do certification is go like for a particular certification which you have interest in. So a couple of things. First of all, think about what is your interest. So if you really want to like CFA or something like that, definitely you have to have that kind of interest, like getting into like derivatives, exchange, and all those kind of things. So understand what exactly details, like, or what exactly knowledge you would get with that particular certification. Second thing, I would say network. Maybe you do it via LinkedIn, maybe Facebook. There are so much platform. You would network with the people who already did that certification. You might suggest, like, you literally ask those people. Now being COVID, it's difficult to go out, but literally I asked a couple of people, hey, can we go for a coffee, can we go for a lunch, can we go for a dinner, like whatsoever maybe. And that's how I also understand like what exactly that course will give me, and this is something I'm looking for. So make a networking, definitely understand what is exactly that course will give. And third thing, I would say, just don't be in your comfort zone. Like, you have to step out of your comfort zone to make sure, hey, I'm really interested in this particular area, this certification is giving me, I already have connected with those so many people. Just don't sit back saying maybe this is difficult, I cannot do it. You have to push yourself so hard so that you can pursue that particular certification and successfully complete it.
This is great advice, Anila, really. And I always say this to people that every certification has value. It's on us to find it.
True.
So do you think there is any certification that you've done that has not added any value to you?
No, frankly speaking, every step, whatever I've learned so far, it's helping me in all kind of manners. Like, maybe if it is I'm working on any IT client, definitely my accounting certification or accounting knowledge is giving me insight, like why this particular thing is designed like this. Does it really make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I would say, I was fortunate enough to be into finance first, because the world actually wrap around around the finance, and then the IT comes and everything comes. Then I was able to understand from a business perspective, like why the design is like this. So definitely all kind of certification helped me to get where I am right now and what I'm learning right now. And that's why I said these are the certification I had so far. Maybe there could be a couple of addition I can maybe add later on. Definitely.
Okay, this has been a great conversation. Thank you so much, Anila. I have absolutely loved talking to you. Guys, I'm also adding her LinkedIn link down below. If you have questions, if you want to connect to her, understand her journey further, make sure you go and connect with her. Wish you all the very best, Anila. The next time we talk, I'm sure you'll have found 6 more certifications to add under your belt. So thank you so much. Keep learning, keep growing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. All the very best, everyone.